All right, guys, we are on First Samuel. First Samuel number 21. It's not too long. Let's do it without my glasses on. All right, First Samuel 21. So David has left. David is no longer hanging around. Okay, so First Samuel 21. Then came David to Nob to Ahimelech the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king hath commanded me a business, and hath said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Now therefore, what is under thy hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or what there is present. And the priest answered David and said, There was no common bread under my hand, but there was hollowed bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women, if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. And David answered the priest and said unto him, Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out. And the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common. Yeah, though it were sanctified this day of the vessel. Kind of confused. I'm not sure what that means. So the priest gave him hollowed bread, for there was no bread there but the show bread that was taken from before the Lord, and put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdsmen that belonged to Saul. And David said unto Ahimelech, And is there not here under thy hand spear or sword? He was like, I might need a weapon. For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. And the priest said, The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it, for there was no other save that here, for there is nothing else. And David said, There was none like that, give it me. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul, and went to Achish the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, Is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart, and was sore afraid of Achish the king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them, and feigned himself mad in their hands. He was pretending to be crazy, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his servants, Lo, you see the man is mad. Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of madmen, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? Interesting. So David goes to Nob, Ahimelech the priest. He was afraid of meeting David. The king hath commanded me a business. He asked for bread, but there was hollowed bread. I'm not sure right here. Of a truth, women have. So he said, if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. I guess it was probably like some sort of custom. Like you could have this bread as long as you're kind of clean, right? Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common. Yeah, though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. So he got some bread. Now a certain man of the servants, so he saw a servant of Saul. So he was afraid. He's wondering if there's any weapon. He said, Yeah, the sword of Goliath. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul. And he went to Achish, the king of Gath, maybe to his land, I'm not sure. And the servants of Achish said unto him, Is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to him? Or they're saying this, the servants of Achish are asking him, like, is this not David? Is this not the famous one who's the king of the land? So Achish must have been like just king of like some maybe small tribe, but then David's kind of known as the king of the land. And there's fame around David for killing Goliath, right? David has or Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s. So David acts as a madman. Achish, the king of Gath. David acts as a madman, given the sword of Goliath from Ahimelech.